What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your buzzing cousin Ghost Boogie. It is B-Boys Underground. Happy Wednesday and happy birthday, first and foremost, to Big Weeze's wife. So shout out to her. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a wonderful birthday. And then also we've got the one and only, we've got the originator. He's the originator, the original guest for B-Boys Underground episode number 1. And he's coming back 27 episodes later, 26 episodes later to be correct, because this is episode 27. The one, the only, the originator JAZ-O, Kings County. I move different. We're going to get into it. First and foremost, though, we got to get into the co-hosts. We got the one, the only, Big Weeze in the house. What's good, fam?
What's up? What's up, world? You know, Big Weeze, I'm back. So happy to get into this episode. As you see, I move different. Kings County is officially in the building tonight. So we about to get live for y'all. Let's go.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we got my brother right in the house right now, G motherfunkin' Dash Fresh. What's good, fam?
What's going on, everybody? G Fresh in the house. You about to get it rocking. Shout out to Wee's wifey. Enjoy your day. We got JAZ-O coming back again. Yes, it's full circle, and we still gonna loop it again. Orbital, hip hop in it. Yeah, so let's have a great show, y'all.
As Mad Way says, run it back, run it back, run it back. And of course, now the one, the only. He is the originator. He's the one. Like, so some say Bone, some say Migos. I've heard this all these other people, they take credit for rapping with the triplicate flow, right? You're wrong. You're wrong. And we're going to set some records straight tonight. We've got some exclusive news. So y'all tuning in, make sure you wait a little bit in for the exclusive news. But let's get into it. The one, the only, JAZ-O. What's good, fam?
Yo, what it is. Good to be here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing it big. There you go. There you go. Yeah, what's up, everybody? You know, back again. 27th edition, 27th episode. 2 and 7 is 9. So it's always on time if y'all know about that numerology.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, the math.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, yo, man, we got it going on, man. Gotta say thank you so much for joining us tonight. And
not a problem.
Always a pleasure to have you. And you know, what we want to get into is, you know, what's been going on since we last spoke in October of 2023, man. Give us an update. Give us a rundown. How are you?
I'm great, man. Great. Just making some moves, delving into other aspects of business, you know, getting into heavy commercialism, getting into, I don't want to get specific about it, but definitely into, you know, trust management. Yeah. And definitely just starting to invest, you know, securities management and things of that nature. So, you know, I'm still a little green at it, but you know, it's becoming my life's work very quickly.
Indeed.
You got to start somewhere. That's what I tell my kids, right? You know, because if you know, being a perfectionist, as you know, that's been something that I held on my head for a long time, and I always still am. But you have to give yourself grace to, like, yo, we're starting this, and we got to start somewhere, right? And if you don't take that first step, you're never going to take that step. So the only way to get good is to do. So to do, get in it.
For sure.
Practice. Absolutely.
I know.
So go ahead, please.
Now I was saying, I know people like, come on, nigga, you rap, you make beats. What the hell are you talking about? Securities management.
Like, important to know these things.
I know, but it's just funny. It's like like, man, they turned this shit into Bloomberg real quick.
Bitcoin's down 2,000 right now. Invest and hold the week. I guarantee you it's going to bounce back. Troll face, Kremlis.
Run some numbers across the screen and shit. We all set.
Word.
We always got the dad that now
Truth is
NASDAQ going.
We
The
all
ticker.
Yeah.
So we got Trans Rocket in the house. We got Digital Dynasty Music in the house. We've got, of course, the birthday girl herself, the birthday lady, Miss Lil JJ79. Happy birthday. Make sure y'all put a happy birthday in the chat to her. Trans Rockets in the house. Of course, we got Canada Law Beats in the house. Salute everybody that's joining us right now. We appreciate you tuning in. And we do this every single Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, and 6 p.m. Pacific. If you haven't already done the likes, the follows, the subscribes, please do so. Also in the episode description, you can get at all of JAZ-O's socials. I Move Different Clothing Company, and also him on Instagram is JAZ-O. So hit those links, follows, do the subscribes, do all of that. We appreciate you for being here. So Jazz, it's time, man. Let's get into some business. Let's talk music, man. Let's talk hip hop. Let's talk underground hip hop. Been doing a lot of research on you, of course, and one of the things that people don't realize, or not a lot of people understand, of course, first hip hop artist ever signed to EMI.
Yep.
First hip hop artist with the highest budget and budget or signing with money with your deal with EMI at the time. That was huge. You worked with a ton of people. I mean, you got to say you got an opportunity to work with the OJs, man, and that's Ohio's own. And I'm gonna tell you, the OJs for me personally have always been like, I'm an old school cat, old school fanatic. And the OJs, man, have got some of the greatest albums out there. And especially, I mean, if you're talking baby making music and some of the coldest samples, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like if you listen, you can like they have got an amazing catalog to sample, right? I mean, they've the hip hop's most classic joints have been to OJ samples, and you had an opportunity to work with them. Tell us about that and how that came about to be able to work with the OJs, man.
Well, first and foremost, shout out to them all. It basically started, I was signed, we were label mates. So when I got signed to EMI, the vice president of A&R at the time, Jerry Griffin, he basically was like, we need a rapper on this song, because they were trying to not trying to, but they were revamping the OJs. I think it was with the Emotionally Yours LP. So they said they had a song. They said, would you go out to Philly and lay it down? Like, how long you need? I was like, what you mean how long I need? Just send me out there. So, so I went out there, knocked it out. I don't think, well, actually they weren't at the session, just the producers. And so I got the feedback from the A&R and a couple of other people up at EMI when they heard the verse, and they were going crazy. They was like, yo, how'd this guy do that? Like, I wish I was there to witness him do it. So for the most part, like I developed sort of a good rapport, or very good rapport with all of them, but especially good rapport with Eddie Levert. And rest in power, the Gerald,
Absolutely.
Who we always ran into each other at the airports, because everybody around that time, we were moving around. If we weren't somewhere doing radio, then we were actually on stage doing something. So that's kind of how that developed. We weren't like homies, like calling each other every day and all that nonsense, but it was one of those things, just like some of the closest people you have, you barely talk to them. You know what I'm saying? So we had one of those kind of relationships. So, and actually ended up doing another song with them called Respect.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dope, man. So with that, you had an opportunity to, like, being on EMI, you had an opportunity to definitely chop it up with a lot of artists, and when you were over in London, you told a story on one of the podcasts I was watching where you mentioned the name that my eyes perked up immediately was you got a chance to meet George Duke.
Oh yeah.
I got to be able to do I had an opportunity to run monitors for George Duke.
Oh yeah.
At one of the festivals that he came in town to do. So like, yeah, I ran stage monitors for George Duke, and he was performing with Rochelle Farrell and stuff like that. So that was like a big bucket list thing for me, because I mean, George Duke, my God,
man, ultra talent.
Yes,
talent.
another good sampling bed too. Well, I ain't gonna tell all the secrets, but
I don't think he got his proper flowers.
I don't think so
You know what
either.
I'm saying? While here,
no.
But that happens often. I mean, the list goes on. You got like Donny Hathaway.
Oh yeah.
Many others who never, a lot who have, transcended, and they were known for something. They got their credit, in the, I guess, in the mainstream public. And people who are in music, they may know about these people, but I mean, when you talk about certain individuals, like the things that they've done, like you don't find out half of it until they're gone.
Right.
Yep.
Unsung is, you might catch more information there, which is kind of, it's good and bad at the same time, but
Yeah. But yeah, also, label mates with Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we, and we almost didn't pay attention to each other. Like we would see, I would see some of the guys and I say what's up, they say what's up. And there was no real formal introduction or anything like that, but everybody knew who each other was or is. So it was cool. It was cool like that. Also, Gangstar.
Oh yes, they were on EMI.
Gangstar. We met them at a we actually we actually met them at a party that EMI was having, and because Chrysalis and Capital, all of that was basically an EMI thing. London, all of that. So so Guru and Primo, they said they had just left Chrysalis office, demanding their royalties. So they told me that. I was like, word? He's like, yeah, we just came. And later on, we found out they went up there with a shotgun. They went up there with a shotgun. The man.
Me now.
Damn.
They stayed on the label, so obviously they got what they came for. But that's how we met them. Actually, Jay was with me. Jay-Z was with me, and that's when we met Primo and Guru.
Shout out to them, and the rest, of course, rest in peace to Guru, man. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Keith Double E. Yeah, that's interesting.
Primo owes me a beat.
Oh, you heard that, Primo?
He owes me a beat.
Primo, you owe.
It's not like, but he owes me a beat, not like he held out or anything like that. I used to see him throughout the years, and every time I see him, he's like, "Yo, I still owe you a beat." From a deal that we did when we were doing the Kings County compilation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The Mobilari joint. So
okay.
Yeah.
That was the 2002 joint, right? It was 2001, 2002, 2002. Hell yeah. Mm-hmm.
He did a joint. Matter of fact, he did two joints. He did a joint called 718, which is the first joint off of the compilation. And then he did Love Is Gone, featuring myself and DiBiase.
Word.
I had that record. I think I still got it.
Yeah.
Record pool and that one came through the radio for the original B-Boys Underground. Yeah.
Shout out to B-Boys Underground.
Kept that
yeah,
one.
Man. Shout out to Mr. Mikey Unlikely, DJ Bad Motives in the house. Salute. So the one thing also, like getting back into, you've been doing this since the beginning of hip hop for the most part. You've been a part of hip hop since the beginning, and I'm talking about since the 70s because, you tell the story about you were active at the point when they were still, doing it in the park and how you got involved in everything. You said remember you saying that you wrote your first rhyme. What was it? When you were 13 or 14 years old, correct? Because your man's challenged you. Your man challenged you.
Yeah, it's my god brother. Man,
Tell us about that.
Eric Oliver.
Oliver.
Yeah. So he challenged me. And he was always doing stuff like that. And we would spend a lot of our time, like if we weren't outside, we would spend time like I was at his crib, or he was at my crib. He lived one floor below. So, we would spend those times, or if it was raining or something, just in the crib ranking, me beating him up, So one day, this cat, Lenny Morgan, who also lived in the building, he lived on the 5th floor too. Anytime Frankie D or any of the cats, the known DJs at that time, or Nate G, whenever they put the music out in the projects, in the parks, he'd come running down the lane. It's a lane on my side. I know they talk about the lane on the other side, like the Jay-Z talks about on the other side, but there's a lane that we call the lane on my side too. Lenny Morgan would just run down the lane talking about, they got the music out. They got the, like some Paul Revere shit, and so one day we heard it from my window, and that's when Eric was like, yeah, I bet you can't rap on the mic. They be talking on the mic like that. These are the type of terms that they used back then. They be talking on the mic, but you can't talk on the mic. You can't rhyme, getting this, that, and the other. I ignored him for a minute, but then after a while, I was like, nah, fuck that. So I wrote a little 8-bar rhyme. And he was so fascinated, he had me like pleading for me to say it like 10 times, 12 times. After a while, I was like, all right, it's corny now, man. Come on, let's move on to something else. He was like, write another rhyme. But it convinced me to the point where I was like, somebody heard it and I must be kind of good at it. So then it became something that was going on in school. So by the time I got to, so I started doing stuff. I started learning that my man Stephen Crossland, who we call DJ Stevie Steve, him, Magic D, my man Duncan Myers, Dr. D, Dennis Jones. We to sum it up real quick, they all lived in the same building basically, but I lived on the other side. But me and Steve, who we call Crew, all throughout school since the 2nd grade, like we did all type of arts and crafts. So we were basically artists. So we did stuff with all types of medium. We would do clay, ceramic shit. We were doing like, but he was the one put me on to it. We were doing like ceramic Godzilla and ceramic King Kongs and painting them and all that shit. And it was good because that shit kept us out of class. They was like, yo, they nice with it. We're gonna do a special project. We want y'all to do this, that, and the other. And we ain't go to class, but school is cramming anyway. We knocked it out. But but we basically all got together and started a crew. What was special about it was that me and Steve, we got accepted to Fiorella H. LaGuardia High School of Music and the Arts, uptown. I don't remember where it is now, but it was on 135th and Convent. And so we started going there, we got exposed to, we were already doing what we do, but we got exposed to, Zulu Nation, Furious Five, Cold Crush Brothers, Fantastic Romantic Five. We got exposed to all of that, Funky 4+1.
That's crazy though.
Ooh.
So we got exposed to that by way of tapes, cassette tapes, because a lot of our, a lot of the students, they would come to school, when we get our little breaks outside or before class starts, somebody's outside with a box, you know what I'm saying? And they playing this stuff. And eventually, I started listening. And I was like, man, we ain't doing it like this in Brooklyn. There was no need to front. Not saying that we didn't have the ability, we didn't have the exposure. So myself and Steve, we were exposed to that. And I'm sure we don't get credit for it, but we actually brought that whole style of rap to Brooklyn, because nobody else was rhyming like that. Like to give you an example, not me per se, but the general MC in Brooklyn was on some, Mikey and Ike was playing in a ditch.
Right.
Call Ike a dirty son of a bitch. But when we got uptown, we got exposed to yes, y'all, to the beat, y'all, a freak, y'all, and you don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Which sounds ancient right now, but that was
flavor.
That was new shit to y'all, yeah.
That was new. That was like, you know what I'm saying? So basically, I just put my own signature on what I was hearing. I wasn't copying what anybody was doing, because that was what I was learning, that was like the warm up before you go into your rhyme. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't really even have that in Brooklyn. I ain't gonna front. We ain't even have that. But when I came back, because Steve was the DJ, and he started having like breaks that nobody, they was like, yo, where you get that? So he was one of the first ones to do it too, was to put tape over the name of the the title and all of that the song. Mm-hmm.
Secret. Steal your shit.
Yeah, it was a thing. You know what I'm saying? You want to have your exclusive, same just like today. You want to have exclusive shit. So, you keep your shit exclusive by doing that. You can hear it, but you got to find it. You on your own with that.
So for October.
Right. So we became sort of iconic in that aspect. And we started calling ourselves the High Potent, and then the MCs, we were the High Potent MCs. It's a long. I ain't going down that avenue. So shit. But basically, we brought that whole style of rhyming and that whole style of DJing, because Cass was going, you know what I'm saying, and zigging "Love Is the Message," which I have no problem with. Like, you ain't from Brooklyn if you ain't hear "Love Is the Message" come through your ears at least 2 million times in your life. So what happened was we got we became known for being that much different. You know what I'm saying? And not different. It's one thing to be different, but we was nasty with it. You know, I ain't gonna front. You know, I'm gonna tell it like it is. You know, if we was whack, I'll tell you like, yeah, a lot of people thought we were whack, but nah, we were the ones. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to throw shade on anybody else. It's just that's what we were doing. You know, we were in our own lane as far as that was concerned. Because we did a lot of shows, and Steve was DJing in places in Manhattan where, you know, they were well exposed to, you know, what they were doing uptown and in, you know, in the Bronx and everywhere. So they were well exposed to that. So they accepted us because we sounded like the most premium of what they've been used to hearing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, well, you talked about the Bronx, you know, that whole movement with the boogie down to the DJs, to the transition to the MCs, and then bringing that whole new style. But what people don't know, or a lot of people out there don't understand, you are the man that made the man of who's a lot of favorite rappers' favorite rapper, right?
Oh, yes, indeed.
You're that man. And a lot of people don't understand their favorite rappers are should I say, stepchildren of your style that you originated and you brought to the industry. You know, a lot of people don't understand that cadence that everyone's rapping with now. You have your Tech Nines, you have your Bone Thugs, you have your Busta Rhymes, you have everybody with this, Twister. All of these rappers who rap fast, but they don't know the man behind that style, which created a whole new style when the originators dropped, right? And that whole genre, that whole movement created a whole new movement in the industry in its own genre. And you being the man responsible for that, how did that come up for you to create that style?
Well, the first time it actually happened, I was writing a rhyme, and this was in the 70s. This was way before, you know, nigga what, nigga who, and any of the Rockefeller stuff. This was in the mid to late 70s, and me and my other DJ, Cool KG, we used to go to his crib and just make tapes. You know, that was the thing. You know, you make a tape. You know, you get one of those big boxes or whatever you got. They got a cassette, put the cassette in and go. You know what I'm saying? So we was making tapes like that, go outside, test them on the streets, you know, and it just became a thing. Like, yo, you got the new Jazz Master B KG tape. You know what I'm saying? Or you got the new Stevie Steve, you know, High Potent MCs tape, you know, from Hudson Gill. You know, we used to do parties at this spot called Hudson Gill. So it became a thing. So one day I was writing this rhyme, and there was too many words. It couldn't fit. I couldn't fit all the syllables in one line. So I doubled up on the line. And when I did that, we actually recorded it and we listened to it, you know, my man KG was like, yo, I didn't even know you did that. He was like, he kept rewinding it back. He was like, yo, how you do that? I was like, just did it. You know, that's something I do. Now I'm not even being funny. You know what I'm saying? I just did it. And, you know, he was like, yo, that sounds fresh. And you should do that more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really pay much mind to it. You know what I'm saying? Because let me put you in my space at that time. I was MC Johnny B turned Jazz Master B, because, you know, having a long ass name, that meant that you was serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The longer the better.
Right. So basically I was at a point where I was getting all the accolades, and you know, it was starting to reach way outside of Marcy. You know what I'm saying? They started talking about me, different projects. Then it became all over Brooklyn, and after a while, became all over the city, and you know, it just went from there. So I didn't pay much mind to it. Then I started doing a little bit more, and when I met Jay-Z, you know, I was doing some of it, and in 1984, 85, we did a song called HP Gets Busy. Now myself, Jay-Z, MC Almond Joy, and MC Easy LD, we were the new high potent MCs. I know this shit sound crazy, but you know, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And so we did a song called HP Gets Busy. And my manager at the time was a gentleman who was a dear friend. I don't even like saying friend because I see him and his family as my family, Jack Walker. And, you know, his daughter's actually April Walker, who owns the designer company Walker Wear.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we put that song out, and that's when I really first did it like more than once. But the science behind it is that was the triplet style. It was a faster style than regular 16ths and stuff like that. But nowadays, what they're doing, I mean, you got some that are doing actually triplet styles, but mostly what they're doing is they're doing double. You know, they're doing doublets. They're not doing triplets.
Right.
Well, yeah, but the idea is still the same. You know, they're going faster than what they were doing when, you know, they rhyming in 16ths.
Let me ask you this: did it kind of boil down to? So you wrote this rhyme, and you was like, "This too many words." Did you get to the point where you didn't want to get rid of none of them? You sped it up. He's like, "Man, I like all these bars.
It
I don't want to
started as
take
one,
them out." Yeah.
right. It started as one line, and that one line, I just had to put it in a different
Cadence,
what is it a smaller note. Like if everything is no greater than us or no or at least a 16th note, those last two I don't know what you call in music. Those last two spaces were 30-second notes. If you know anything about
like measures and bars.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's when that started, and I wasn't doing it to be. I was doing it because, like you just said, I didn't want to get rid of that word. I wanted to maintain the meaning for that line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I remembered that line, I probably said I could have done without it. That shit was whack anyway. You know, that's how I talk about my own shit. You know, that's just it.
But back then, it was the shit, and it needed to fit.
Yeah, it got to fit. Yeah.
I feel you.
But I think that I don't get. I'm just saying I don't get enough credit for any of that. It's sort of like an unspoken thing, you know. Like I'm the elephant in the room everywhere I go. Like I'm, you know. I know it's crazy to talk about yourself like that, but you know, sometimes you got to market yourself. And
Absolutely.
Right.
Let the world know.
Toot your own horn and beat down the street. So,
well, you know, you brought up something that is definitely, I think, also what would be I'd like to elaborate on a little bit, because some folks have even said Big Daddy Kane, right? And him with him flipping and 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 taking credit for that, right? And I know,
Right.
there's some things that you that need to be said about that. What do you got to say about that?
Like, what you got to say about that,
You know what
Chad?
I mean? Well, I mean, like, here it
I
is,
know,
like,
man, I'm fucking with you, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, I mean, I mean, I love Kane. You know what I'm saying? I love my colleagues. You know, we spend a lot of time around each other. You know, we know a lot of the same people, but things are what they really are. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fraudulent. Like what I have to say to Kane, and the things I'm saying right now, I say to his face, and he knows that, and most of anybody who knows me knows that, is that, yo, you great in your own right. Like, why are you trying to take credit for something that you didn't do? Like, to me, that kind of throws shit on on your other accomplishments, or on your accomplishments. You know, why are you trying to take credit for? See, and this is how it went down. Like, I saw, I think it was about 92. Yeah, I think it was about 1992. And I was leaving EMR, and I was going to, literally leaving out the building, and I was going to get myself something to eat. You know, it was on 7th Avenue at the time. There was a couple of nice places to eat, go over a little quick block is Broadway in Manhattan. So I run into Kane. He was with somebody, and he started asking me, you know, yeah. So what you doing? You still coming out with music? I was like, nah, I don't know. You know, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. And that was just always my attitude about the music business, I should say. You know, the music I love. Like you see what I got behind me. Can y'all see that
yes, sir.
on my shoulder?
KRT
It's
Rockets.
always that. It's always that. And anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can get it. So
Hell yeah.
so basically, he started asking me about Jay. So I was like, nah, he chilling. He's like, what's up with him? He chilling. He was like, yo, you got him signed, like, to, management or production or something like that. I was like, nah, that's my man. And that's how I approached business back then, not in some cases I still do, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, that's my man. And I always said it in all interviews. I said, you know, I'm going through what I'm going through, so he doesn't have to go through half of this shit, you know. So he was like, yo, can I you mind if I talk to him? Can I get his number? This is Kane talking. Um I was like, yeah, but I can't just give you his number outright. Next time I see him, I tell him you want his number, I'll contact you, and then it's a go. Y'all do whatever y'all do. And that's what happened. He went on the road with Kane. Kane started adapting what he got from Jay, which Jay got from me, and all of a sudden he's credited with giving Jay his big break and being an originator of that style of rhyme, and all that shit is straight bogus. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm not.
I seen that documentary. He was pulling him out on stage. I seen. I forgot where I seen that at, but I did see that, so I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, honestly, like I could get on some barking shit, rah shit, but it's not even about that. Like, we grown ass men, and it's like, at the end of the day, you can't take any of that from me, because there are too many people who know the truth. Number one. Number two, you making yourself look stupid to those people who know the truth, and you belittling yourself. Like Kane is nice. You don't
That's
have
the thing.
to be you and me.
Right.
That's the thing that I was gonna say
Maintain
about Big
himself,
Daddy
yeah.
Kane
Right.
is that he's got his own accolades. Like with what the work that he did stands on its own because he's prolific and he's one of the greats, right? So shout out to him. But yeah, there's no need for the cap, right? As the youngsters say these days.
Right.
Let me tap in, bro. The proof,
Oh
the
God.
proof is online. The proof is in the music. You know, when Jay was 19 years old, his first song ever was featured with JAZ-O. Not Daddy, not Kane.
We know that, yeah.
Then the Originators formed the album, Jay-Z, JAZ-O, the Originator song itself. Kane wasn't there. And then if you listen to any album Jay-Z dropped from Reasonable Doubt all the way forward, does he mention Daddy Kane?
One time
he pays homage to JAZ-O in every album, at least 3 tracks. He mentions JAZ-O's name for being the responsible party for where he is at in his career on every single album.
But also, don't forget though, I mean, Jay-Z was in, I mean, the first group that you were in, Jazz, and the first group that Jay-Z was in, y'all were in the first group together, and that was called, it was a Hard Pack, right?
Nah, that was later
Hard
on.
Body. Oh, that was later on.
We were the high potent MCs when in 1985 when we did a song called HP Gets Busy. You know, but that wasn't the first high potent, but he was it was kind of like the second generation high potent MCs. And it was me, him, and the 2 brothers from Long Island, Armand Joy and LD.
Gotcha.
Who were also KG's cousins.
Okay. But I mean, like, so it's clearly documented that, you know, I mean, and it's clearly documented even on all your albums, right? So it's clearly documented.
Yeah, I just feel like is you know, they're 2 different main platforms, if you will. And I would say one would be you know, the people or the music listeners who adhere to whatever is said on the news, on, you know what I'm saying, the you know, social media, the one, you know, the clips and everything with the most numbers, you know, with the highest algorithmic you know, generation. And they're the people who just actually know firsthand. So I just feel like what is known to those who know firsthand needs to filter into that general, you know, that general public that, you know, understand for the most part only what they're being fed. So, you know, and I don't really have a problem with it. It's just one of my wishes, you know. I put a lot of work in, and you know, it's kind of weird for me to even call it work, because I do this shit in my sleep. Like, you know, I wake up in the morning doing stuff, making the beat in my head, making the beat on my knees, you know, not you know what I'm saying, you know, clapping on my knees, snapping on my kneecaps, you know what I'm saying, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know, because that shit just runs through me. Like, I'm thinking about stuff like a song that popped in my head, and I was like, yo, you know, if I took this part right here and that part, because, you know, we love sampling and chops, and it's just in me, and that's my motivation. That was my motivation to even take the deal with EMI and even before that, to take a deal with Tommy Boy Records, because I love the music, and it's like, yo, you gonna give me money for something that I just love doing? You know, it's like an NBA player.
Right.
You know, oh, you paying me all this bread. This what I'd be doing if I wasn't here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely, man.
But yeah, I don't want to I think the people that I may speak on that may have a problem with anything I have to say, they have to only admit that I'm telling the truth, you know. And my goal is not to hurt anybody's feelings, but if your feelings get hurt, then your feelings get hurt. You know, stop running around out here capping like.
I mean, you respect is due when respect is due. When a lot of people don't understand this thing that we call the music industry and what we call hip hop, you are one of the biggest influences of it, and you are an originator of hip hop, and you deserve it, because we would not be where we're at without, you know, players like you in the game that paved the way for future artists.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that, because I feel the same way about the ones who came before me. You know, I say it all the time. Grandmaster Caz is he's got to be like my number one influence. You know, with the rhyme game, his cadence, you know, his ability to rhyme and sing simultaneously. You know, to switch back and forth. You know, he was writing all the Cold Crush, or most of the Cold Crush routines. And what I found out recently, what he told me, was that what's his name from the Fantastic Dot Rock from Fantastic Five was his protege.
Oh wow, did not know that one.
And they always went. You see how they always went back and forth, like, you know, like that big battle. Between, between Flash and Theodore, and then the big battle between Fantastic Five and Cold Crush. Yeah. Dot was his protege. He said when they went to school, Dot used to write a rhyme, and then he come check in with Caz and let Caz do a little proofread, and like, yo, you should say this like this, boom, boom, boom. And of course, I wasn't there, but I'm not afraid or ashamed to say I believe him, because of what Caz is and because of the work that he put in. So yeah, so that's one of my major influences, and he's one of the first, or the most predominant voice that I heard when I was going to school up in music and art. You know, his ability to put things together stood out above and beyond everybody. And I mean, there were a lot of ultra talented individuals who never put a record out.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you talked about influences. You were also, you know, you have your influences, but you were also an influence on, as you know, like a lot of the world knows, is Jay-Z. You were his mentor. You produced multiple tracks for him. His number one single, Nigga What, Nigga Who, that actually his number one song ever. You produced that track. But a lot of people
I didn't produce that. Sorry, I didn't produce that. I produced Ain't No Nigga.
Ain't No Nigga, that's right. And that, which was his number one single. But then you also were an influence on other artists like Biggie. So tell everybody about your relationship and how you influenced Biggie in the industry.
Well, for one, in which I didn't realize it, and I didn't know that he had already met Jay. My man VI from the projects introduced, you know, him and Big was cool. I don't know if they went to school together or not, but him and Big was cool, and VI, you know, heard Big, you know, spit, and he was like, yo, you nice. He's like, I'm gonna introduce you to my man. And from what I heard, and this is a reliable source, you he introduced Big to Jay, and you know, it was just like a regular, you know, it wasn't disrespectful, but it was just like, yo, what up? You know, and that was the end of it for the most part.
It's 22 hours.
But what I realized was that when I moved out the projects, I moved into a part of Brooklyn called Clinton Hills. And living in Clinton Hills, I lived within like a block and a half from Big and most all the Junior Mafia.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So we used to, and I didn't know who he was, you know, and not saying that, but he wasn't big. He was just him. He was
Christopher Wallace.
Right. He was a nigga pitching with his mans in the park that me and my cousin was shooting ball in. And so one day, you know, Big came out his face. He was like, yo, you come over here shooting ball and chilling and acting nonchalant. He was like, nigga, I know who you are. And I couldn't say nothing. He's like, I know who you are. I know you. I know you. He was crazy like that. And then what was so crazy was the transformation from him, you know, doing what he was doing in the park to me seeing him in a club. You know, him, I think Puff was with him and a couple other people, and then me, Jay, and Jay's cousin Beehive, we were in the same club. I don't remember the name of it. All I know is that somebody went outside and I heard a couple of gunshots. Then I saw a Big walk through and he just looked at me. He was like, what's up? I said, what up? Now, I don't know who shot. I don't know who was busting shots. I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it was somebody else, but he wasn't running. So, you know, like that. But yeah, then I saw him one more time after that. Recently, this was like 90. Early, like 93, 94. And we went out, we ran into him. When I say we, I'm talking about like me, Jay, Beehive, a couple other people, and we ran into him again at this club. And he saw me. He was like, I see you. I see you. You always clownish like that, like because he knew I got it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, nigga, from the park, both of us in here in the park fucking around. You know, you playing ball, he probably pitching. To that, you know, different phases. He's like, I see you. And the last time I saw Big, we were in I don't like calling announcing men as daddies, but it was Daddy's house. The studio.
And you can say Puffy's joint. Puffy spot.
Nobody knows the fuck I'm talking about. But, right.
Yeah, no Diddy. All good.
No Diddy.
So yeah, we were there and Big was recording. They were recording. He was recording his verse for I Love the Dough. And so yeah,
man, that song though, that song was nice. That was a nice sample, and I love that's one of my favorite songs off the album. Like that one right there is always one that I go to as a personal listening. Yeah,
because you know songs like that, it start out as a good song because the original song was so good.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying. So if you don't,
the Wimbush,
you right. Right. If you do the joint justice, then you got a hit. You know, the song being put in the proper places. But so we were there, and somebody said something about Morris Science and Albert Pike and some other things, right? And then I can't remember exactly what I said, but Big and Jay looked at me. He's like, we know about all that, which I know he was fronting, but I knew Big was on something. But Big also at that session, he was saying that this probably be my last album, with Bad Boy. He didn't say that he was going to another record label. He said specifically, I want to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Business wise, he wanted to do something different. He wanted to break away. I mean, then he already had Junior Mafia, so it ain't no telling.
He had his man on, right? And that was the whole thing about when you can get into the conspiracy theories where people say, about why when people say that Puffy had something to do with his death was because of the whole him writing for Kim and Junior Mafia, and they say that he purposely steered all of his artists over to his man who had the Unentertainment label, right? Lance Riviera, and that was his man, right? So he was steering all of the artists over that way. So, and I know wanted to always talk about getting into film too, right? So that was something that really was, that was his passion, and he was using music as a way to flip it and to get into film, right? And that was that. So that might have been something that maybe he was alluding to.
Right. He did definitely want to get into some other things. And that was the last time I saw Big. Because after that, the next time I heard anything significant, Jay called me on the phone about like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, telling me, basically what happened in general.
Yeah. That's deep.
Yeah. Sad, man. Because, we could sit here and say all day, things happen, sometimes it's happenstance, sometimes it's planned. But when there's so many particular personalities involved, the probability of it being happenstance dwindles significantly.
True. Yeah. Facts. That's facts. Yeah.
Because you know the personalities, they're calm, how they rock. You know what I'm saying? But
if I may ask you a question though, I want to, since you knew even to have been around Big before Puff, right? You saw, because he was in the park and everything. In your opinion, do you think things would have turned out differently? In a way, do you think, two-part question, do you think that Big would have been as big, I can't think of it, or as much,
I know what you're saying,
prolific in well regarded in the game if he would have never linked up with Puff? And do you think that he would have even popped or blew Pause like before if he wouldn't have linked up with Puff?
I don't play that game. Go ahead, you can just talk. Man.
Thank you. So I mean, like, that I mean, like, do you think, what in your opinion, do you think that he would have found his way, knowing the industry like you do, and knowing the politics and the navigation that you had to do in New York, especially during the time?
I would say this, and this is all I can truthfully say. The way the shit is set up now, with who everybody thinks is, the one, and prolific, be it talent wise or business savvy, the whole structure, the whole pyramid, if you will, would have been different. It would have been way different. It would have been different, like if Lynn Bias didn't die.
That's a good point. Yeah.
In reference to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
That kind of different. Not saying it would be, I think that it would be, I think that it would have been a totally different structure. I think that if the right people did the right things, we wouldn't be dealing with having to scream and complain that we're not getting enough money due to the streaming for our music. It wouldn't be a lot of those things, you know, and Big as an individual, he wouldn't have to even speak on those things, but just his presence and the alliance of different music powers, if you will. Just think if there was an alliance, whereas Big broke off and Big aligned himself with, or they aligned themselves with each other, like Big and Jay. It would have been right. It's Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
It's you know, it's two super talents. The game would have been different. It would have been way different. I hear and I'm gonna say this because I heard people talk about, you know, they say like, yo, you know, nobody was better than Pac because Pac, you know, he spit that shit and then he got the ladies and this, that. It's like,
it's different though.
You know, it got to do with rhyme skills and selling. I mean, it got something to do with selling records, but it's like, come on, man. It's like Pac. I love Pac. Pac rhymed with his heart. You know what I'm saying? When he rhymed, due to his vocal projection, you could tell that he means what he's saying, and that's very important in lyricism. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that, you know, he say fancy shit like I say.
Nah, it's different. That's why I say it's different. It's absolutely different.
And that's not to say that I'm better than him. And he's better than such and such. Yeah. Everybody is the best. If you don't think that you're the best, then quit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. That right there is.
Go for yours.
Say that again.
Hey, I got a question, Jaz-O. It's actually
yes, I'm not saying it again.
Shout out to man, hold on, man. You take me back to episode 1. Anywho, shout out to Andrew Nass. He was asking the question here in the chat. He was saying, "Peace, Jaz-O."
Andrew.
Yes, sir. He said,
I didn't return your text, man. My bad. I'm sorry.
I never wrote your number down, Ness. I know I called you. Get at me. You still got my number. I need to get back with you. But anywho, he got a question. He said, Jaz-O.
I'm pulling it up. Yep, there we go.
In what ways are you excited to influence the next generation of artists? That's a good question.
Yes, and then if I may interrupt you just one moment, just so everybody knows, to make the announcement, if you do have a question, because we were going to segue into that, but it's perfect for everybody to go ahead and put your questions in the chat now. We will get to them. We're going to do some Q&A with Jaz-O. We've got some exclusive news that we want to get into too as well. And we got some more questions for Jaz-O that we've got in the pipe. So listen, we appreciate each and every single one of y'all for tuning in. Much love to each and every single one of y'all. We are sponsored to you. This episode is sponsored by a couple of sponsors. Of course, we are sponsored by Jaz-O's companies. I Move Different Clothing. So if you don't know already, now you know, right? And we're going to get into that and promo that here in a little bit after he get a chance to answer the question. But also, we're sponsored tonight by Kings County Media Group.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, now you know. Make sure you get down with Kings County. And then also tonight, our OG sponsors, the one and only Colorado Print and Press. Make sure you get down with them. They redesigned their site. We're going to get into that here in a little bit as well.
Word.
But we're going to keep it moving because we got to keep it moving. We got to say, Jazz, please, by all means, what Andrew said. What are your thoughts on that, fam?
I feel like what needs to be learned and how the next generation should be influenced is, of course, the I wouldn't even call it a problem, but the problem solving of intermingling what has been put down as far as traditionally with hip hop and integrated with as far as maybe millennials or younger artists or the next generation of artists, their knack and their know-how of present day technology and how it works, and to also look back at what was handed down. And the main thing that's missing nowadays that was handed down is originality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm just keeping it a buck. Like I can't tell. There are a few artists I can tell who they actually are. All the rest of them, it's auto-tune. They use, the producers using the same sounds, the same drum sounds. They're using the same, hi-hat.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? I can't tell one song from another besides the title, and I'm not interested to even look at the title. And I'm not bashing, new generation hip hop or what have you. I'm just calling it the way I see it, and the way I see it is there's a lot of good music out there. There's a lot of trash, And I mean, and when I say that, I'm not talking about the ones that get the big numbers on social media and the streams. I'm not talking about that in reference to good music. I'm talking about music that you actually like without having to hear it 105 times.
Right.
Man, there is music out there that as soon as you hear it, you're like, yo, I want to hear more. Then there's music. It's like, yeah, I know this song by heart because I listen to the station and they play it 50,000 times a day.
Radio program. You can't even escape it.
That's why it's called a program.
It's a jingle in your head.
Yep. So, me influencing, like, I mean, if they were anything like me when I was young, I ain't listening to nobody, and they're kind of the same way. But when you leave certain examples, allow these youth to pick up what they feel works for them. Because out of 100 of them, there's going to be 2 or 3 that's going to revolutionize the game.
Mm-hmm.
So let them rock. You show by example. I'm not sitting in it. If the money is right, I might. But I'm not sitting in a classroom, teaching people something that, for the most part, they can't learn. Like I look at these motherfuckers with these master classes, and it's a sham because you're an iconic whatever you do, and you saying that with these lessons I can make you. They basically telling them or selling them that like you can make beats just like me through my master class. No, you can't.
It's talent.
You know why? Right, because that's Timberland, and you ain't gonna make that. Mm-hmm. This is such and such. Somebody else, you're not gonna make that. This is Jaz-O. I can't teach you to rhyme like me. I don't care how many surgeries you get with your throat, your tongue, your teeth. You ain't gonna rhyme like me. Even if you could rhyme as fast as me, you're not gonna say what I say. You're not gonna do what I do. The same thing goes for Weez. Same thing goes for them. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach that. You can only teach, which they never talk about. They don't talk about how they can teach you to be your best you, so that you will be the best. You know what I'm saying? You'll be at the peak of your game by taking certain tips and and
And
paying
using your
attention.
God-given talent, to be the best you can be instead of, not
Right.
emulating. You take little tips and this from that and that, but you still got to be who you are. And you can't, nobody teach you that but yourself.
Hey,
Right.
look, Steve Arrington said it best.
Can't
Nobody
like
can
it
be
be
you
you
but
but
you.
you. Come on, let's
Yeah,
all
Exactly.
sing
man.
it. Here we go.
Nah.
Nobody can be.
You first.
Come on, let's get it. I'm
You
singing it.
first.
I started it. Nobody
I
can
know
No,
I
be
ain't
you
a singer,
but
bro.
you.
so the thing,
Y'all
the
left me
thing.
out to hang, man. That's fucked up.
Nah, nah,
I'm
nah.
not a
We
singer,
ain't
bro.
leave you hanging. You left yourself hanging. You
Nah,
try to
I sang it
try to
though.
bring us over the cliff with you.
I sang it.
We just
Yeah, come
been like,
on,
nah, you
come
first,
on,
Ain't no
man.
singer.
come on.
So I mean, you
What is
bring up.
it was a hot song? Steve Arrington is dope.
Oh, absolutely! Shout out to Slave and Steve Arrington, man. The you brought up one thing though. I mean, so maybe with the master class, the way that I would look at it, I would still pay the money if I had an opportunity. If it was someone that I had an opportunity to that I respected, because essentially what I would look at it as is an investment into trying to get some information from them in regards to their 10,000 hours and their mastery, right there, and the wisdom that they can impart that might help me, like, level up naturally, or at least have a better starting point than someone just coming out and rough. But like, nobody can be you but you, because everything that you were around, everything that you witnessed, everything that shaped and influenced your musical tastes, right? That's what created you, just like me and Fresh and Wheeze and everybody else, right? That's truly where, when it comes to art and it comes to anything, whenever it is that you're doing and it's something that you love, your true you shines through what it is that you do, that you love. People can tell if it's genuine or if it's not, right? and
Mhm.
and and there's no way you can teach somebody life's experiences, but you can teach them wisdom, and you can
Right.
pass down
Which
wisdom,
is
right?
teaching them to dig into their own, right? What you saying, and create your own story. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for highlighting my closed mindedness, my straightaway.
Nah, I think what
I
it
was,
was, though, you had
I
a
was
point
waiting, I was
though.
waiting for somebody to get it what I was saying, but no, you're absolutely right. That is a good reason, but I'm just going from my experience that people who contacted me and they wanted stuff from me, they wanted to like teach me how to rhyme like that.
Well, yeah, they're trying to skip they're trying to skip the work that's necessary and the
Mhm.
experience that's necessary to truly be
Right,
prolific,
right. Yeah,
right?
man.
I mean,
Word,
there's no
word.
way. I mean, now I guess what it would be is AI now, right? So,
Oh
Let
man,
let
that's a
somebody
scary
rap.
thing, man.
Man,
what is
that's
your
just
Yeah.
on my
opinion on
job.
that, bro?
Um, like AI can put on screen a person at a scene of a crime, whereas
Man,
they were never even there.
Yes.
It's no good. It's no good. And then you have all of these fake records where they have the program, they program the voice,
yep.
and you know, you can go do anybody's record. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? I could go I could put out an Ice Cube record. I could put out
So
anybody's record.
So with that being said about putting out records, so the DOC is putting out an album in his original voice, but the only way
That's
it's going to
different.
happen is AI though, and it's the DOC.
I
How do you
accept
feel
that.
about that? And what? Hold on. What about
I know.
Beanie Siegel? Rumor is he's dropping an album using AI to correct
Mm-hmm.
his vocals.
I heard.
I accept that because they're
It's
the
still
ones
his
that's
vocals,
crap.
yeah.
They're
Yeah, I
crafted.
would
They're
say that.
crafting it.
And then those are special circumstances because number one, it's them. Number two, they lost their voice, their natural,
Right.
talking voice. So I get that part, but I'm just saying that the ability for just any of us, like once we get off of here and we want to put out a song, we get a beat, we get the lyrics, and you can get the program for anybody's voice,
Yeah.
any public performer's voice, any public speaker's voice, and put out a record. I don't.
Yeah. It's AIs to the point to where I can actually put in the artist that I want to sound like, and it will closely write my lyrics to whatever that artist's style is, and write it to that in my voice to where I don't have to write music anymore. It's insane.
Right. That is insane. That is insane.
Let me say this, being, in technology, and, we got it on our job. It's the technology's great, but you know what's happening. It's going to get in the wrong hands. It's going to get misused. It could do some great things. It's going to end up being used to do bad
Right.
things. So, and
It
that's,
came out the wrong hand.
yeah, it's just the nature of things, so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about nature, but because it's not really natural.
Human nature.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yo.
Definitely. Yeah. But I think creatively, like that's just a sign that there's little to any more creativity.
And
Because
that's
just
scary.
due to the fact that people are willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I say DOC and Beans, I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
If Kanye didn't recover, I would totally get it. When he first came out, he had the accident.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't know. I think that technology has gradually devalued music because anybody can make music. If you can't play a note, if you don't even understand the difference between two notes, you can make music. You can make intricate music.
Right on your phone. App on your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so where's the creativity? And when the creativity is gone, the value is gone, because that's what the value was based on. This individual or this group's unique ability to compose a particular work.
The art. Yeah.
Right. So when anybody can do it, like what's going on now, in which they made it that way through technology, you spend all this money, you buy all this equipment and everything else. Now you have these people who just know how to program stuff being deemed musical geniuses.
Oh yeah.
What happens to the musical genius? That's why actual musicians had a problem with sampling at first.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I was sampling, I understood it 100%. You know what I'm saying? I got the fact that, like, yeah, man, that's whack. They taking what we did and, which to me, it rectified it, to get credit for it. Now they started getting credit for it. I had my personal experiences with some, some writers who were greedy and some writers who were very generous.
I feel you. Yeah.
Easy to work with. But Yeah, it's that's something to deal with. Like the musician has been devalued. Creativity has been devalued. Like you get an artist, like you get a songstress or a songster, everybody can sing. You know why? Because they'll automatically tune any off notes. They'll they'll correct the cadence at any particular point. So
Mm-hmm.
so where's the value? Any
You
one of
know,
us can go in the studio and get a song, and the pitch is perfect, the timing is perfect, everything is perfect, but you didn't really do it. So there's no value. So the next person comes up, they come up with a song, they do the same thing. So it's just like Bitcoin. When you got 20 billion in circulation, it may be a certain thing, but you take half of that, which is 10 billion, out of circulation. Guess what? It becomes more valuable. Then when you add more and you double it again, guess what? It devalues. And it's the same thing with music. And what they've done was they created a situation where you can create music, you can create a song and put it out without even moving from in front of your computer. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
once you do all of that, that means, and look at Spotify, look at all of these DSPs, look how much music is out there. It's ridiculous.
It's
You got
mind-boggling.
someone making albums. You get, you know what I'm saying? Anybody. And
Quadrillion bytes of
I'm
streaming
not
music
judging
coming.
them, because if I didn't understand music, I might want to try music or something like that. But it's devaluing the actual music.
Hey, what? Well, changing gears because we got it. Some of our fans out there want to hear some. What valuable art do we got something that you've been working on or cooking up?
Uh, I'm
Got something?
cooking up. I'm cooking up a couple of things.
yeah,
Cooking up a
man,
couple
we might
things?
as well get into it. Like,
Yeah, I want to hear some fresh new
so
Jaz-O.
so
I want to hear some lyrics to that beat that I sent Jazz.
Ah.
Singing weed, love star and shit.
Did it?
Yeah, nah.
I'm just trying to
Yeah,
get them in the
got
bag.
me.
You know what I'm saying?
Got me.
Listen,
That beat is crazy. That beat is crazy.
That's what's up.
yeah,
hell
man.
yeah.
I'm just trying to get it to complete the album, so I can make
I'm
this
a
move.
slow
and drop
Gin,
it.
right?
What's that?
I said, and I'm slow Gin.
Yeah. And plus,
Nah, I got it.
I'm
I
trying to
got
get
it.
the push.
Don't
So
play with
so
me. I shoot you some in the morning once I finish up this other stuff I'm doing in front of me.
Absolute.
Word.
so we got some announcements that you're gonna share with us
Let my
tonight.
ego kick in. What'd you say?
So we got some announcements you were gonna share with us tonight. We are at the halfway point, almost to the
Okay.
end, depending on where we're at. So, like, for everybody tuned in, we appreciate everybody that's tuned in right now. Want to give a shout out to DJ Ballistic. Of course, we got Herbs One in the house.
Herbs
We got
One.
DJ Lex. We got my super dope moderator, Miss G Lorraine, holding it down. It's
Lorraine,
GLA. It's GLA Rain, but I call it G Lorraine. And then, of course, we got Danny Chaz, my brother. Make sure you follow him as well. And much love to everyone. We give, of course, big shout out to Andrew Nast for checking in. Make sure you follow Andrew Nast right now. Not right now, but right now. Yeah, he's got a lot of good stuff coming out. We're going to be bringing him back on the show as well. He's got some exclusive announcements that he's going to be dropping and blessing us with on here. So most definitely be on the lookout for that. But I mean, Jazz, it's time. I think it's time you make your announcement, man. You let everybody know it's time to put it out in the universe and just let it happen.
What we got?
So, okay. The date to be determined will be coming soon. The podcast, looking like the podcast. I'm gonna have my people there. everything, a lot of things that are being set up to be determined. You know, I Move Different, Kings County Media Group, B-Boys Underground. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like a collaboration. You know what I'm saying? We don't compete. You know, competition is a sign of weakness. You know what I'm saying? We do this together. You watching here, you're gonna watch the podcast, and back and forth. We're gonna have so much information. We're not doing the gossip. We just sticking to actual facts. You know, different levels of interest. You know, multiple subject matters. You know, from health to and I mean all types of health, physical health, nutrition,
Food.
psychological.
Canada. Shout out Canada. Food. He always bring up food on the podcast. Canada. We talking food, brother. Well, go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna have some of the original spitters, you know, DJs, of course, different people in the music industry, different people in different lines of business, you know, the corporate line of things. Um, I had a list, but you know, we bringing everybody aboard. You know, the people, the go-to, and that's the key. Like, you know, a lot of people, they just bring somebody on because somebody says something about them, you know, or what have you. What we're into is strictly, and I mean strictly, getting to the go-to person, because the go-to person is gonna have what you need to know, and that's gonna be looking like that's what it's looking like.
Okay. The Looking Like Podcast.
Boom.
Yes,
2BD. Okay.
yes, indeed. So anybody that happens to be listening and y'all the go-to person, y'all know to contact, you know, any of us, because we'll be contacting you. Because we want the people to have not information, but knowledge. Information could be good or bad.
True. Oh, we lose Jazz.
And what it's looking like right now is that we'll be right back with Jazz.
Okay.
As soon as he's able to, he's got a connection that just chopped off. So we'll get him back on. But yes. So for everybody to know, we have the Looking Like podcast coming to you soon. Make sure that you be on the lookout. And then, you know, so the way that I want everybody to know is that you can stay up to date. You stay up to date a couple of ways, and the main way we want you to do is we're going to be directing you to Jazz's page. It's JAZ-O. That's It's JAZ-O. It is in the description of this episode that you can go ahead and link to. It's JAZ-O. We'll be releasing content that way, and also letting you know and keeping you up to date, of course, on all of our particulars. So we'll be sharing it out. I'll definitely be sharing it out. So yes,
another branch of B-Boys Underground. See, you start one thing and see how it grows to the next. So you got B-Boys, now you're about to have Looking Like the podcast.
It's just the B-Boys Underground's just growing, and you know, there's things that are in the family tree and all of that stuff, man. And like, you know, this is we're very proud to be affiliated with Jazz.
It's the natural progress of growth. It's like you get something good going, you build something else, keep it going and growing. Join in, people. Join the ride.
Absolute, man. Anything the big brother does, man, I'm always down to support my big bro. So, you know, I ride with Jazz till the wheels fall off, you know. So, you know, Kings County, we in this together. We always gonna do it. And it's gonna be a movement, and it's gonna happen again.
Hell yeah, man. So yes, be on the lookout, man. And then of course, I Move Different Clothing in Kings County Media Group. You know,
support the line. Get y'all some hoodies, some hats, some scarves, some beanies, some t-shirts, some sweatpants, some socks. If you want to buy me that starter jacket, I'll take that too. You know, if you want to, you know, I'm always down for some gifting from the fans. You know, my birthday's in June.
I'm September.
You know,
3X.
I'll put the link in the chat where you can go get me a birthday present in June. So I want that starter jacket in white. Thank you.
Hey, look, and Ghost Boogie done ran out of clothes. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done lost so much weight. None of my clothes fit Ricky Bobby. Nah, yeah, man. So yeah. I'm just gonna since he's asking and Fresh is asking, I might as well ask. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey,
you can
y'all know a
clothe
good
Boogie.
y'all know a good tailor for him. They gonna tell you.
Nah, I ain't gonna be tailoring for that shit though.
That new, bro. We talking.
Hey, look. Health is wealth. I don't care what nobody say. Look, I am down 2 shirt sizes. Boogie done lost all his weight. I'm right behind Boogie. Let's go. Let's do this. Health is wealth.
We down 160.
I cut grass Sunday and I lost 8 pounds. So that's I'm there. I just got a tiny little gut. That's about it.
Look, I felt so good about losing weight that I shaved the beard off just so I could show off my face. I was like, you know what? I'm skinny. I'm skinny.
Look, that's what I did. I thinned my shit out too. I was like,
shaved it all the way off. Hey, look, I was
this new nigga
like,
on our show.
You got this no chin again.
Like 23 hey, look. Last time I didn't have a beard.
Now you look like the flyer.
Shout out to Colorado Print Press. We need a new logo, fam. We need to update.
Yeah,
we need Skinny Boogie, Skinny Wheeze, Skinny Fresh. Not Fresh already looking skinny on that logo. You know what I'm saying? That was all. So, but nah, man. Look, here's what I wanted to do. Take an opportunity out also to get into some of our sponsors, right? So
do it.
Since we have this small chronic break, let's do this. There it is right there. He rocks in it. He's rocking a hat. So check this out, man. We got, look at this.
Get one.
So there we go. All right. So you got right now, if you go to the website, IMoveDifferent.com, you can get 15% off right now. If you subscribe, just put that text message in, right? And I'm going to put the link in all the chat right there. So regardless if you're in Twitch or YouTube, because Facebook's not working tonight. So we appreciate everybody that's tuned in right now.
We'll get that back
on all the platforms. Much love to you all. But yeah, all you got to do is put your phone number. No, I'm not putting Boogie's phone number in here right there. But if you check it out, I Move Different. Some dope clothing. DJ Diamond, the artist, shout it out. But like, check this out, man. You can get a whole look. It's springtime, right? You can get a whole fit shorts and a shirt, crew neck, long sleeve, right there, Mike. They got whole sets. They got jersey sets. It's for women.
Yeah,
all types of stuff, man. Accessories. What we got in accessories? I need one of these because I got a big ass head and I like to cover it because I'm bald. So you know what I mean, like, because my head moves different. Let's see here. Shut up, man. Shut up. They got a whole sweatsuit for you, fam. They can pop it off in red and black. Get that going. They got t-shirt
you
lines.
can always
they got
email them colors
bundle.
too. So it's not just red, black. And if you see a specific color you want, you let them know they can do it as well.
Just and if you like all three, you got all three right there, right? You can get a 3-pack. And then this is this one that
man,
look, talking about. Man, listen, I know. I'll take, because I'm a DJ, I'll take black.
I just want the white, bro. Because I know the moment I wear it, it's gonna get dirty anyway. So I just want the white.
and get that discount code. So sign up. Absolutely. And G Fresh, he hides his screen differently. But you're gonna We'll put this big ass logo over the screen right now. We'll use that space. There you go. Boom.
What's up, PK? Thank you for joining in tonight, brother.
Hey man, make sure you follow PK on all the particulars. B-Boys Underground alumni.
Yeah, G.
420.
Go ahead and get that blue. Like I said, G, I'll take the white. So when you order, order that double up.
Yeah, man. G Lorraine for real. That it's absolutely, and she's out there in LA, so she know that matches with her Dodgers. Most Dodgers. Yeah. Man, so and also we've got there we go. We got JAZ-O back. Boom.
Y'all see me? I don't see
yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We see you.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, G Lorraine talking about she like that Dodger blue starter jacket on the I Move Different website. So
oh yeah.
I'm trying to get that double up on the white.
We were just showing off the we were just showing off the I Move Different website while you were out, fam. So yeah, I Move Different.
No doubt. I Move Different. Yeah. I showed y'all, but like, yeah, we got this. I'm just showing y'all my personal stuff.
Gila, there it is to go with the jacket. Man, look at that one right there.
Hold on, you could get that in the shirt, the sweats, the shorts. Those colors are all available.
Yeah. I got I forgot what I don't know where it's at.
Go ahead and put that back up, man.
I got a team. What's that?
Put that back up so everybody can see. I put you full screen.
Yeah, on the side, you got the county. Front, got I Move Different.
Hell yeah. Look at that.
Spinning.
Ooh, and it's a fitted. It's a fitted.
And it's stitching. It is not an iron on. It is not pressed. That is full stitching on the emblems.
Exactly. That's full embroidery, everything.
That's proficial.
Full embroidery, no stickers. Yeah. This is my favorite one. They call it they say it's my grandfather cap, but I ain't no grandfather. Word.
Hell yeah, man.
This that in white. I showed y'all earlier, but
yeah, show that one, man. Hold on,
white, bro.
Man, keep it in the plastic because
it's white. Yeah, man. Gotta keep it crispy.
Yes, indeed. It's actually 3 of them. I'm gonna send some out.
Jazz PK would like to know, can you do an image on a hat?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Long as it's not, long as it's politically sound. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Absolutely. So you were talking about some of the subjects that we have that you were going to cover. So just so everybody knows, like you were saying, that it's not just going to be just music. It's going to be everything. It's going to be music. It's going to have, stuff related to health, business, wealth. It's going to be truly variety type thing, but also from your perspective, things that are interesting to you, subjects that are important to you, and tell some people, but also because we are on a hip hop show right now, let everybody know some of the hip hop guests, if you could maybe leak some potentials maybe that are going to be coming.
I don't want to do that because I don't want somebody to hear and be like, yo, we didn't commit. You just committing
fair.
A whole bunch of people, but it's in the bag though. I've solidified enough relationships, and we gonna show and prove. I mean, it's the team right here. They're gonna see what it is. They're gonna see the overall look. They're gonna see how it's put together, production wise, and every other aspect. Excuse me. And it's gonna be a go. They're gonna love to do it.
Absolutely.
To be honest with you, I got a lot of people in the business. They just waiting for me to do something so that they can, you know what I'm saying? They can collaborate or, lend a hand, if you will, or be a part of it.
history in the making.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
So again, stay tuned to Jazz's socials on Instagram. We'll be posting a whole lot of more content there, and about when we are locked and loaded and ready to fire out the first episode. But there's going to be some really dope content coming out. So please, looking like the podcast is going to be looking like it's going to be amazing. So shout out to the one and only JAZ-O for using our platform for making the announcement. Plus also, shout out to you and Weez for giving me the opportunity to be a part of it, man, and help out. So salute to you, fam. Much love.
No doubt. Appreciations all around, man. Like, we all helping each other out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So with that being said, we do have opening it up to the audience in the chat. Please, by all means, if you have any type of questions for JAZ-O, please put it in the chat. We are live right now.
So I have
Twitch
a question. Yeah.
Before that, fellas, I got to go take care of something.
Actually, yes.
And I was on mute. I'm just saying that I got a big brother. I ain't the oldest one no more. Respects to my elder here over there, Big JAZ-O. Yeah, comes with knowledge. But yeah, let me take care of something, man. Appreciate you being back again, full circle, man. Looking forward to it, man. We got you. Shout out to all my people checking in. Cincinnati, G Fresh, Rollo,
take care. Handle that. Much love.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right. Peace.
All right.
So I did have a question come in from Instagram. And this question does touch on the subject of Jay-Z. They wanted to know where your current relationship status is with Jay-Z, and are y'all still beefing?
Ooh, there it is.
Man, I'm not hesitating because you gotta like me, I'm not in social media like that, but I've seen enough that would indicate that everything is everything. Nah, but we cool. We cool. I mean, we never really had what people call a beef. We ain't have a beef, because I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. Beef is, behind a tree, you got two left in the clip and somebody throwing them at you. You know what I'm saying? So we never had beef. We may have had a couple of disagreements. We may have been at one time or another influenced by people around us, or what they used to say, the clique. But now it's never a beef. It's full understanding of what's going on. I could honestly say this. He looks at me and a lot of my thinking, because a lot of my thinking was impressed upon him, in his younger years. I'm not sitting here saying that, I'm responsible for him being a mogul, and I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is how he is in light of performing, in light of his organization around him. He looked at those things, and he saw those things. He saw, like, okay, Jazz got a deal, Jazz got a structure, and he saw that, and he structured his own situations, with help. We all had help. We say, Dame, some people say Dame is talking crazy, and so you can say whatever you want to say, but he was helping. He was there. Clark Kent was there. These people were there. So, our relationship is cool. I reach out sometime, and he'll reach out sometime, and we keep it at that. Not saying that it can't go further, not saying that it's minuscule by any means, but That he's you know, you hear stuff and I don't know any of that. You know what I'm saying? All this public shit, I don't know any of that. All I know is, you know, that's bro, and whatever he does, you know, that I feel I should support, I support.
Hell yeah.
Simple as that. You know.
I mean, like, you guys were like at the hip, you know, forever. And like the thing that I saw even on one of the other podcasts that you were on, you know, and they made it a point to bring it up that, you know, you were one of the first people to put on, you know, another artist on your cover, but it was a solo album that was like
Right.
a feature that wasn't a group effort too, right? This was your solo project.
Exactly.
And you made it a point to put it out on and put him
Exactly.
front and center.
And the label was against it. The label
And you
was
fought
against
that.
it.
And you fought that.
Yeah, I fought it because that's what I felt like. If I'm the artist, I'm the center, and you know, I understood the whole financial part. You're making an investment, you're gonna make your investment back. You're making money. You know, there's some other things I won't get into deep, but once you sign your name on a contract, you know, you become value in itself because we are the value. Our signatures are the value. So I understood some of that, but I mostly understood the fact that you guys are advancing me money. It's not called a grant. It's not called a gift. It's called an advance. That means that it has to be paid back one way or another. So I felt like I was supposed to be able to express my creativity however I wished. And that was one of my wishes. I was like, nah, this dude been right here before I got the deal. You know what I'm saying? I've taught him so many things. I invested my time and energy and at times money, you know, for him and myself to be be in that position at that time. I was like, nah. Like he rolling with me. He made that decision. You know what I'm saying? He could have been other places. I mean, there wasn't much better places to be than with, you know, somebody that, you know, loves you and has a situation and is willing to share in the prosperity of that situation. So, you know, like, yeah, give him some exposure.
Nice.
They were
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
hey, you're the artist. We don't have him signed. We don't have him signed. And it's like, so what? I was like, if he's not on the cover, I was like, the back cover is the back. If he's not on the cover, I'm not doing it. That's how I approached everything. Everything that I wanted, I was like, if it don't go that way, I'm not doing it.
word. I mean, so I mean, I think the biggest takeaway that I would say is that, you know, if you definitely, like you said, because and you're being humble because you didn't make. I mean, everybody makes themselves into the man that they are, right? But what can be said is this: you put him and you helped him. Helped. It's clear that you helped put him in the position to learn as much game as possible through just being able to observe early on what it is that you went through, especially with a major label as EMI. So he had insight into the entire process, was
Right.
able to be a part of you, be a part of your recording process when you went over to London. Right. So, I mean, and that was a whole eye opening experience and that whole process, you know, through the promo of it. So, you know, that absolutely, because again, when you talk about the master class, right? He did get a master class from you because he was with you, like, you know, lock and step through a lot of a lot of everything that you went through in your development, and he was able automatically to apply that to and be in the game, and he had automatically all that knowledge and had a hell of a team put around him, right? You mentioned Clark Kent, Dame. I wanted to ask you, and then Biggs, like wanted to ask you.
Biggs. Shout out to Biggs.
Shout out to Biggs, man. I mean, the thing that I always respected about Biggs is that during, especially in the 90s and the late 90s and the Rockefeller era, right, when everybody, it was the Big Willie and popping bottles and it was just, it was big. You were promoting yourself and everything, and he stayed in the back. He said he stayed in the back. He's like, I'm just gonna be in the background handling business, because that was always I always admired that.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
I wanted to ask you though, you were around that cast of characters and gifted individuals and during the formation of that, specifically, I'm gonna, and I don't ever want to say anything when I mention Dame Dash. He's a galvanizing figure to Son.
Mm-hmm.
He's larger than life. He's very, that's the thing that I mean, and when you mention Kanye, right? They're very big, huge personalities, right? Being around some of those cats, is there anything like what could you anything that you could share, like on your dealings with Dame Dash, and like how things are with him?
I never like to speak too much about Dame. What I will say is, we agreed on a lot of things. We disagreed on certain things, but I would never process my disagreements with whatever it was between he and I as him being wrong or me being right. A disagreement is a disagreement. So I'm saying that to say that a lot of people who have these, I guess, negative things to say about Dame is because they disagreed with a lot of things that he had to say or however he handled his dealings, but I gotta say, and I'm not saying that he's saying anything wrong. I'm just saying I don't really support how he's approaching some of these situations. But I will say this: it's not me, and it's not up to me to make a decision on how to handle any of these situations. It's his situation. So
it's his business.
Right. So I just say that I'm not the one to sit by and say, here, you said that, whatever. That's not me, but I will say that he definitely opened some doors, for not just Jay, but for a lot of us, through his rapport, some of his relatives, who are in the music industry. It helped us push forward. And that's and I would rather, obviously, I would rather say that than to harbor upon the things that I didn't agree with him about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Like, he has to be credited for, you know, he was a part of the beginning of it, and he definitely was a big battery in the back of it and part of the
No,
creation of
most
Rockefeller,
definitely.
right? You can't take away anything that he's done, even, I mean, because everybody's going to have a disagreement about something, right? And
Of course.
regardless, so I mean, that's life, and that's being a human, and you cannot, I mean, you just cannot, and yeah, and not trying to ask for, and by no means trying to ask for any dirt or anything like that. It was just, you know,
Stop
curious
saying
because
that, man. I understand, man. It's a
yeah,
question. You know what
yeah.
I'm
So I
saying?
mean, because to understand, because you witnessed and being around the
Mm-hmm.
uh the beginning and the formation of one of the most important labels in hip hop history. I mean, Rockefeller is what it became, and the birth ground of everything that it was. You were there, and you helped produce some of the singles that helped propel the album to begin with, and that was, in a way, I mean, regardless if you didn't at the end of the day decide to become a part of what it was that they had going on, you still were a part of it, and you still were key in its success too. So, like, to switch gears, to mention, like, you were there right around, I guess, the early introduction to Kanye, right?
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
it
I
like?
saw
Like, what was the young Kanye like, man? Like, from what you witnessed to, like, what your
to
personal
now.
experience to,
He
like,
he was well, I'm saying he is. He's an expressive personality. Um, you know, sometimes you can catch him and you can't get a word out of him. Not that we really talk like that. You know, I saw him in the studio a couple of times. Um, and the other time I saw him in what's the name of that? Oh, Mr. Childs.
okay,
Ran into him in Mr. Childs. Um, he was sitting with Andre Harrell, Farnsworth Bentley, and uh, um, man, it was somebody else there. Um, what's my man's name? Plays the keyboards. It's
Scott
crazy.
Storch.
Scott Storch.
Are you
Nah, I
talking about
know.
old boy from the TV show?
Nah, I'm talking about John Legend.
John
Oh,
Legend. All right.
John Legend. There you go.
Yeah, John Legend. Yeah, it's a
He's
quick
saying,
glitch. It's not like I don't know who he is. I ain't remember him in that way. You know, just a glitch. Yeah, they were all sitting upstairs. I went downstairs. One of my bros invited me to his engagement, like an engagement dinner. But yeah, just a lot of respect. I saw him one time when Def Jam and Universal moved to 8th Avenue and 50th Street in Manhattan. I saw him coming out the building, and he was very congratulatory and very respectful. That's all I know. Like the stuff that I see on social media and a lot of you know, he says a lot of things that make sense. It's just his delivery. There's nothing wrong with his delivery. I'm not too much into right and wrong. It's just how people receive that type of delivery. You know, first off, they say he's saying things that they're really not too familiar with, but familiar enough to understand what he's saying. And then his delivery adds more shock value to it. So people, you know, and then they listen to what other people who are engaged in character assassination. They listen to what they have to say about it, their input, and is usually end up usually going along with that whole analysis of it, or presumption, I would say. But yeah, you know, it was a thing that I really didn't want to be around it. You know, I had no problem with any of the people involved. I just didn't want to be around it because what I noticed is that the reason why I was around was gone.
What is
And
that?
what I mean by that is, you know, I'm still way back here. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be at the studio. My man's he working on his album, woo, woo, woo. But it's not that anymore. It's this person over here got something to say. This person telling these people to get out the you know, get out the room. These people coming in, they offering something. You know, meanwhile, this nigga's trying to do vocals, you know, that type of thing. So the reason why I was there was gone. It was dead. Because like I said, my purpose was I want to hear how my man lays these vocals down. And, you know, there were a couple of times, you know, he asked my opinion, you know, which was I understand because of how people that were around looked at him. He had to go at it a certain way because he didn't want to ruin that leverage of how people thought of him. Not saying it wasn't real, but of how people thought of him. If he's coming to me and asking me my advice on something that he, according to those people around us, is the best at doing it. You know what I'm saying? So for him to do that, it was great. For him to thank me in Chicago at the United Center. I think that was that 2017, something like that.
Yeah, that was for the 444.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, that was on the, or was that on the, that was during the On the Run tour, I think it was. Like the tour that he was doing with BNs, or was it during 444?
Nah, it was the 444.
444, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's that. I mean, and the thing is that what I love about and appreciate about the squashing and like y'all the fact it's and like you said, there never was really the beef that everybody made it out to be, right? And that was perpetuated by a lot of media, and that was, and perpetuation of beef is definitely all we have in everything. If it bleeds, it leads. That's the news cycle. But what's amazing about that you know, when there was that closure at 444 with
what's he laughing at, man? Yo, this nigga Weed is like cheesing.
Yeah, he's tripping. He's tripping. I think
I got
wife
a
is
house
messing
full of
with him.
people, so I'm just
Yeah,
laughing at people.
They're messing with him. But what I wanted to say is I appreciate the fact that it shows the maturity process, right? You know, as men, you know, we can have disagreements, right? Yeah. There's things that happen where like you can't go back from, and that's part of life. And when you burn a bridge, you know, hopefully you can learn from it, you know. But and there's bridges that need to be burnt, and you definitely don't need to go back through over. So I mean, but there's definitely, you know, as grown men, you know, you need to evaluate that, and the fact that, you know, everything can be brought and show that it's all love, and regardless of past differences, that there's an evolution. And at the end of the day, when you have a relationship and a bond that is important and as close as what you guys had, that there, you know, it makes nothing but sense. And it's beautiful that there wasn't anything tragic that happened before, you know, that closure couldn't have happened. You know what I mean? So, and that's what we all should strive for as humans, and that's difficult sometimes, but you know, that forgiveness isn't for yourself also, and that closure is not for yourself, it's for the other person, and vice versa. But it is more so for yourself, right? To be able to say,
Right.
yo, you know, it is for yourself, this, to be able to not harbor any ill will or contempt. And not saying that there was, I'm just saying to be able to, just for the
Oh
folks
yeah,
out
it
there,
happened.
man, get rid of it, guys.
Right. Yeah. Well, there was, there was some frustration, definitely. I mean, that's the only thing that really causes that type of rift, you know.
Yeah.
But I can truly say that it's, I mean, shit like that happens, and I just didn't. Yeah. See, the thing is this: there was not so much beef, more than the fact that there were people who were frustrated and agitated by the fact that they know they know my status and what I've done on his behalf, and they felt that like he was supposed to drop a super bag on me. You know what I'm saying? That, if anything was the beef, that was the beef, but that wasn't my beef.
Right.
Because I would be like, yo, let's sit down. Like, whatever it is, I said what? I said this and that. Yo, my bad. This, that, and the other. This is what I'm trying to do, so on and so forth. That would be the case. So it's not my beef. It's a lot of people's beef because how things work. Which on that note, that is or should be how things work. But if I see things a certain way and people have a certain reason for doing whatever they do, some people may call him a shit bag. Some people may say he's a saint. Some people may say like, well, Jazz must have done some dirty low life shit for him to react that way. There are a plethora of things that people could say could be the reason. But I'm sitting here telling y'all right now that there was no beef beyond like, nigga, don't think you could say something about me cross and I'm not coming back. That was it. All that other shit, like, oh, I'm mad, I'm jealous. Come on, I'm JAZ-O. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You can't put money on that. You can't bring me a value in any type of coin that will equal to that. And that's where I stand till the day I die. And that's it. And that's how I feel. And I'm authentic with it. So that was other people's beef.
How much did the Nas situation play into your situation?
So
yeah, we brought the bag out.
So we were at Def Jam. I think it was B-Hop, Jay-Z's cousin. B-Hop asked me where I was at the time. And I was like, I'm around. He was like, yo, come through the office. I want to talk to you. I was like, all right, bet. So got to the office. They started playing K Slade. He put out a I think it was a street Rest in Power K Slade. Yeah. He put out a Street Sweepers mixtape 13, and then just for
I have that.
He put out 13A. And they played it for me in the office. It was, who was there? It was was Jay in there? I think Jay was in there. I know Tata was there, and me and B-Hop. And they played it. And I was like, and this is the first time I ever heard it. So in my head, I'm like, oh shit. But I could tell that B-Hop, every couple of seconds, he looking at me a certain way, like I have something to do with it. And I was like, nigga, you bugging. Like, I wasn't paying attention to Jay at the time. I wasn't paying attention to Nas. I wasn't doing none of that. But I wouldn't even do that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even do that. I would let them resolve that between themselves. I don't have anything to do with that. You know, yeah, he mentioned my name 3 times. If you talking about Jay-Z, you should mention my name at least 3 times.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so they were looking at me and I was like, I don't know what they looking at. And oh yeah, let me retract because I'm remembering now. I was actually at K Slade's crib. And he didn't play it for me, but he told me he was doing it. And it was wild. It was wild. Like, it wasn't real wild because it wasn't no bullets flying all over the place. But it was sketchy, at least. It was sketchy. But he said he was gonna do it. There was I forgot the name of the concert that Hot 97 was doing every year.
Summer Jam?
Yeah. And what I heard was Nas was getting he was getting, you know, in Disney World they have those the robotics, like they have
the animatronic cats.
Huh?
Like the animatronic, like robot, like the stuff they have inside the show, like the rides, right?
Yeah, they had it on stage. They did one. The one I remember, because I was there. I'm going way back. I was like 9 years old. They had one called the President's something.
Yeah, the Hall of Presidents. I've never been, but I've always heard about that. Yeah, my grandparents talked about that.
Yeah. I saw that with my family when I was 9. But he was gonna have something similar to that in the image of Jay-Z. And he was gonna get, and he was gonna get a hang rope, and was gonna hang him on stage. And then, you know, politics kicked in and, oh, you can't do that. This is then the other, you know what it is. It's like, nah, this nigga sponsors, they give too much money to the station. You can't do that. So it didn't go down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that took beef to a whole new level. I mean, that's some 50 Cent level shit right there.
I know.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's pretty creative. And it's a long way to go to make a point.
Man, think about if he would have pulled that off, though. That would have been like remembered as a hit 'em up, a no
We probably be talking about it right now. I mean, we are talking about it right now. But we be talking about it like it happened.
Even right, like that would be something that would be everybody would have talked about. That would have been bananas. That would have been crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Gorilla Strong, that's super facts.
Absolutely. And Gorilla Strong. 60 Seconds Assassins is one of the dopest posse cuts ever.
Going to get into that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh, and Gorilla Strong says, shout out to the
one of my topics to get into.
Motherfucking legend, Jaz-O. Much love. The Gorilla Strong. Danny Chad's in the house.
Gorilla Strong, Pete.
Yes.
Yeah. And Canada Law Beats said, hey, he first heard jazz while he was in Hawaii. Big respect, bro. 8th grade. I'm a butcher this high school, but it's like Aliyah Manu Junior High. He bought the 12-inch LP.
That's what's up. That's what's up. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
If you still have that 12-inch LP, maybe we could get it signed for you. I don't know. Maybe we can
Never know.
facilitate that. Who knows?
Get the
But yeah,
cobwebs off.
Yeah, Gorilla Strong. 60-Second Assassins is one of my favorite cuts. I actually play it regularly, and I actually introduce a lot of people to it who don't know, and I use it as an educational vice for that style of rap to teach other artists where that style came from. Because I think K Slay and them did a great job of paying homage to the originator of that style throughout that whole music video by showcasing him and JAZ-O through everybody's verse to show, hey, this is where this come from, this is what this is about, and we're going to play homage to it. And Kennedy Law still says he has that 12-inch vinyl.
Oh, okay. You can get it. Yeah, you get it, son.
Oh, shit.
So Canada,
yeah, much thanks.
Oh, Nakana Glaze, JAZ-O legend. Absolutely.
You know what that is, right?
Nah.
See that hat? See that hat you got on? That's Nakina. That's Visionary.
Oh, Visionary! Shout out to you. Big up to Visionary on that one.
Yep.
Oh, I see the picture now. Yep, I see it there. Yeah, shout out to Visionary.
We putting some stuff together for y'all now.
Looking forward to it, man.
Visionary, you see me saying we like I'm putting in that work, right?
Yeah.
Nah, she doing her thing. That's my partner. We got big things on the horizon, as y'all gonna find out, and most of which y'all already know.
Hell yeah, man.
IMoveDifferent.com.
I move different, y'all. And then look, we can actually show that right quick. Let's see here. Give me a moment. Let me find where that one went. There it is. Yeah. So again, we'll put that link in the chat as well. So IMoveDifferent.com, y'all.
Yes, indeed.
Dope clothing right here. Boom. Check this out, man. We all want one of these, man. Like, damn, we want one of that.
Starter jacket.
Look. I talked to Weez. I was like, man, that one right there. Woo, that's for all my DJs. See, DJs wear black, so I mean.
But, word. I figure it's an opportune moment to make you angry. Opportune moment.
He's gonna make me angry. How's he gonna make me angry?
Oh, y'all know. I already know what he about to pull out.
I
already know.
Oh,
yeah. It's cold-blooded too, bro.
Oh, snap.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is a special one.
Oh no, it don't. Oh.
Yeah, look.
No.
The warm up from the album. The warm up.
Yup. Let's figure I'll make you angry real quick.
Man. I'm just gonna ask when's mine's in the mail.
Nah, yeah, the black is super cold.
Yeah, I saw the chain hanging there too, Jazz.
Yeah, I wore it symbolically because you know, just for niggas to know that, you know, whether I signed or not, there's just much my doing is all the rest of the game.
The rock chain.
Well earned. Well earned. That's the well earned one. That's the OG. That's the in crowd one. that's not the rotation one. That's
nah, this the one with the things on it. Everything ain't got the things on it.
Yeah, man.
So yeah. And you know, I mean, since the early 90s, you know, I stopped being like a jewelry guy. You know, I ain't too much into it, but I felt like this was a special episode. And I felt that, you know, I should wear this.
Absolutely.
You know,
next time it's gonna be the Kings County piece.
Yeah. because Bleak has been doing a whole lot of publicity lately, and he's rocking his all of a sudden just out the woodworks. He's been rocking his Rockefeller chain too in his last 2 interviews.
Good.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, that's heritage. That's our hip hop heritage, and it's so important. It's so important that the truth be told and documented out there on all accounts and accords, and when folks are out there changing history, as because now, especially if they have a bigger, are able to say something on a big platform and get it viral, then that becomes the history. And what we do here, B-Boys Underground, promote hip hop, underground hip hop, and we promote the truth and the facts. So,
yes, indeed.
And looking like podcast is going to be promoting the truth and the facts. So here's the last thing, Jazz, with everything that's going on today in hip hop. And me and Weez have been talking about it. Like,
yeah, man.
So, man, and you have been involved in some historic beef in hip hop, and just have been able to witness and contemporaries during the time when beef was, could be really fatal. And not saying that it's not now. Unfortunately, there's young men losing their lives even more at a faster rate these days than maybe even before then. But like, it's just it's beef is a part of hip hop.
Unfortunately.
What do you think about all of the beef that's going on with the whole Kendricks, and everybody's just jumping in the arena? Like, what's your thoughts and opinions on that, if you have any?
I think people are looking for. If you really want to know what I think,
I do. We do.
I think that it's just as simple as they're looking for attention. They're looking for what is it, or what can I do to create some type of clamor, some type of noise over here, get some type of attention. And it's really not healthy, to be honest. But and then there are things with you just have people who just don't like each other. And my thing is, I feel it can be healthy as long as everybody keeps a proper perspective. Like, it doesn't mean I'm gonna send my goons at you. It doesn't mean that we can't do a show on the same ticket. So I mean, you never really know what it is, but I will say that it's not as important as to lose your life, or for somebody in your camp to lose their life. You should just, I mean, everybody's getting money. Those guys are getting money. What else is there? And then that could be the answer right there. It's like, look, we got the money. We can put out records anytime we want. What else is there? My answer is they have the wrong people around them. Because having a rightly guided person around them they wouldn't even go at that in that manner, because first they start talking about things and going into each other's business, and then out of nowhere you start talking about that gunplay. When you start talking that gunplay, you're going into a whole different world, and I could rightfully say 95% of these people that always talking that gunplay ain't really about that gunplay. They the man sitting next to the man.
Drake.
Man, they sitting next to, he might be about that gunplay, but he don't rap.
Yeah, no, that's true facts. And I mean, you hear it all the time, on artists, there's a particular light-skinned one in the industry that does it all the time, and we know he ain't about that life.
It's stupid.
but but you know, but I mean, beef. I mean, as long as it stays on track, I'm with it. I love diss tracks. I love hearing beef. I love hearing rappers going back and forth in the spirit of competition. I don't. When it goes to the streets, I'm not with the we gonna take this to the streets, you know, and that's kind of where the Quavo and Chris Brown beef is heading towards. Like they want to take it to the streets, but you got Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. They trying to keep it on album. You know, well, Cole backed out of the whole beef thing, which big ups to him for being a man about it, but. Gorilla Strong is stupid. Oh man. Well, that's what Rick Ross has been saying. So, because Rick Ross done intervened into the beef now with that whole thing, but with them, it's staying on track and it's for like entertainment value, it's for sell value, shock value. It's not going to carry over to the streets. That's the type of beef that I'm with. That's the beef I like. Because I've been listening to diss tracks from day one. I'm not going to stop listening to them. Keep that shit going because it's entertainment to me. And that's the whole point of it. It's meant to be entertainment, not supposed to be physical.
Right.
I think if it could be separated, like if as long as it can be that way, but I think nowadays a lot of people are just very quick to get in their emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Source Awards all over again.
Not willing to throw them hands too. I mean, there's a lot of gunplay nowadays.
You know, we used to say when like I actually watched it transition into that, like that was the first thing. Like when I was a kid, you had a problem with somebody, I throw them hands.
Through hands, you had to man up. You had
right.
hands.
Through hands. And and if you took a L, you got to live with that. Yep. But you got respect because you put up your hands. You didn't run. You know what I'm saying? You may have taken an L, but you got respected for it. It's just like, yo, you need to keep your leftovers. But besides that, now now that's the first thing. You look at somebody funny, they ready to. First off, I'm like, who gave you a gun? People that they don't let them have guns, they get them, but it's like, look at somebody funny, they ready to shoot you.
Absolutely.
I think that social media and the formation of these fake lives, that people portray on their profiles, has gotten them to the point where their egos are out of control. And they work so hard to protect that profile life that is portrayed by them for you to think that that's their real life, that once they feel it's slipping away, everything, like, said it. I saw a post, somebody posted Kanye, and what he said, to paraphrase, I didn't get exactly what he was saying. I don't remember exactly the words he said, but he talked about how said Instagram got your woman. He said got your bitch. But he said because the minute she take a picture or something like that, Instagram gets it before you do.
Yeah. For real.
And and it's something to be said about that. Not saying that Instagram is an entity that is hovering over your life. Well, it kind of is, but let's not blame Instagram as social media in general. But but the thing that's crazy is that the prioritizing of showing your picture to a bunch of strangers before that special person in your life sees it is kind of weird.
Got a point on that one.
You snap a picture.
Well, I think so. Here's to maybe counter that point would be, a lot of folks do have social media and their loved ones on social media, right? So you have the that's their way of sharing it out, and then they have their acquaintance. So it's like boom, because I know, like, if I go on vacation or I have something, sometimes I may do that, right? So, or if I'm doing it, I may do with my kids, even though, if we're out in the park and stuff like that, the grandparents are out of, in another state, and boom, here it is, because they follow,
Right.
they're
But
always
let me
quick
be
to
more
pay attention to what we got.
I'm sure this is what he was talking about. He was talking about ass pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Well, that whole culture, yeah, that
Yeah. Now I understand what you're talking
yeah.
about. Like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That's my old self talking. But yes, the younger generation, it is absolutely trying to be influencers, and it's the clout,
Yeah.
like Gorilla Strong and mentioned too. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm not even talking about it on a moral standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm speaking of it on a prioritization. Like, you're basically making a statement like, my profile life, and when I got a picture that's a good look, it's not good enough for, this a woman saying this is not good enough for my man, just my man to see it. I want the world to see how beautiful I am, and all these other pictures that are touched up and everything that's on my profile. When you see me, I may not look like this, but you ain't gonna ever see me. So I'm gonna live my profile life.
The plastic life.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Understood. Yeah, man. Like that definitely is a whole, I think that's more so the generation after mine. I like
Yeah, after his.
I feel sorry.
No,
I mean, well, I'm a Gen Xer, so I mean, like, I was born mid 70s, so but the I feel sorry for the generation these days, because we were able to experience concerts, and it's a great thing that there were not cameras in everybody's hands and on everybody's doorbells and everybody's corners and all these things in our youth, because man, be a whole different story.
Yo, do y'all remember? I don't know. I don't, probably not, but I remember a time where, of course, there wasn't there wasn't cameras in the phones, and you had to actually have a camera to take a picture.
The disposable joints was my shit.
Yeah, but it was supposedly against the law to take somebody's picture without their permission.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But
that's changed.
in the name of commerce, right? They made it okay when they put the cameras in the phones, because that means you could snap anywhere you feel like it, but everybody wants it. So they prioritize the monetization of a phone that has a camera on it over our privacy, as whether you're a U.S. citizen, a non-citizen national, whatever you classify yourself, that they're violating. They chose to prioritize that over money, which, of course, that's what they've been doing since 1933.
Absolutely.
That's another story. And I want to talk about it.
Well, that's for the Looking Like podcast that get into that conversation.
Yeah. Saucy.
So, we are at 2.5 hours, Jazz. My question is,
you lying.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. When you asked me, right? And I was like, when you asked me about the time, how much time I had, and I was gonna say that usually, like, the time that you're saying is gonna just whiz by. And sure enough.
Good conversation always does. And I mean, that's the reason why, I mean, I love long form podcasts and you know, and having tight podcasts too are different, but you know, being able to have a true conversation and a true dialogue and have, you know, just opportunity and space to explore and especially when you're being able to tell your truths and your stories and educating folks and putting it out there. You know, this is what I like to do. But you know, again, and being respectful for your time, that's where we're at now. Folks normally like to listen to some music. Question is, do you have time to go over some songs, or do you want to just, we got to wrap it up because of time? We understand.
Yeah, time is crazy, but you might want to play Looking Like. I guess you can attach it.
Yeah, we can do it. We can play that right now. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up that video.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, Felony Loke from Circle of Bosses tuned in with us as well. He said, "What it do and what's cracking, Jaz-O?"
I'm chilling, boss. Everything is everything. You know, making moves. You know, delving into this, delving into that. But music is always on the agenda.
Man, absolutely. Absolutely. So with that being said, y'all, again, if y'all are just now tuning in, be on the lookout for Looking Like the podcast. Again, y'all want to get a preview of what the graphic is, then we got you here too. But yo, Looking Like the podcast is going to be coming out soon. Jaz-O, be on the lookout. Looking Like the podcast. That's not necessarily a good look because there's not enough resolution for it. But look, that's Looking Like the podcast right there, dead center in the middle. Get down with it. We are coming to a streaming platform near you very soon. And with that being said, also Jaz-O released this in 2021. This was released through your partnership, your distribution deal through Rock Nation, through Kings County Media Group. This was off of the warm up.
Yes, indeed.
Collaborate with Nipsey Hussle. Tell us about this, man. Tell us about this track, man.
Well, shit is hot.
Facts.
There it is. There it is. You just heard it. Let's get into it, man. Looking Like this shit is hot. That's boom. Ain't nothing.
This new JAZ-O Nipsey Hussle video. Y'all gotta make sure everybody come. Look, there's people over there.
What? Yeah, you didn't hear that from JAZ-O record?
Nah, I didn't hear when that shit come out. Yeah, there's a new JAZ-O Nipsey Hussle video coming out today.
We was just talking about this.
So we out to this, y'all?
Let's go. I'm about to call JAZ-O right now.
You don't know JAZ-O.
Yo, don't play with me, bro. You know I know JAZ-O.
I know you know JAZ-O.
I bet. I'm calling him.
Yeah, I bet you know Jay-Z.
Yeah, y'all not gonna come in with me neither. Fuck out of here. Yo, JAZ-O.
Yo.
Oh, I heard you having a video shoot.
That's what I'm doing right now. Yo, pull up.
Alright, I'm about to pull up with the squad.
Alright, that's what it is. Money.
Yeah, we out.
Oh, now y'all, right? Alright, bye.
Niggas looking like I had it wrong. Now them niggas know I had it right. They don't know about them sleepless nights. Them looking for a reason nice. They say it's 6 degrees in life. Opportunity, preparation, they meet us nice. You see me up in Neiman's right. Chain in my pinky right. Looking like, looking like, looking like, looking like. Looking like, looking like, looking like, looking like.
Yellow tipping in the Bellagio. Got the floor locked down, Guantanamo. You know what time it is, FL's in the best sound. American gangster, man on fire, Denzel, young buck, ballin' for free on concrete. From the hallway to the Hall of Fame, Sidney Moncrief. I play so fantastic. Shorty called me a hardwood classic. She consumed, but give me room in the best way. Headway on the Brooklyn Queens Expressway. Let the Armand, the Brignac pour, the shore indoor. She claimed that you're bored, the illest she ever saw.
Niggas looking like I had it wrong. Now them niggas know I had it right. They don't know about the sleepless nights. Them looking for a reason nice. They say it's 6 degrees in life. Opportunity, preparation, they meet us nice. You see me up in Neiman's right. Shine in my pinky bright. Looking like, looking like, looking like, looking like, looking like, looking like, looking like.
Amphibian, 60-footer, swim on both sides of the prime meridian. I move different, brighter than Luciferin, though I weathered through incidents. Implement my innocence, it was all a coincidence. Post bail, living large, nigga. That's why they call it a charge, nigga. All in my sleep, don't barge. My dream is so real. 20-car garage, nigga. Violating, annihilating. Kings County, gain equity, rock nations. From the door, the stash offshore. We sick getting money, ain't no cure. The illest you ever saw.
Niggas looking like I had it wrong. Now them niggas know I had it right. They don't know about the sleepless nights. Them looking for a reason nice. They say it's 6 degrees in life. Opportunity, preparation, they meet us nice. You see me up in Neiman's right. Shine in my pinky bright. Looking like, 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 looking like.
Looking like, look, we looking right. Look at her, look, she looking like. Looking like, look, we looking right. Join us, it's looking like a night.
And ladies and gentlemen, JAZ-O. Again, Jazz, thank you for everything, family. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much for chopping it up with us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your story. But most importantly, thank you for being you. And thank you for everything that you have done for this thing that we call hip hop that we love so near and dear. Much love to each and every single one of you.
Much appreciated.
JAZ-O, everybody. So we're going to end with shout outs, fam. Do you got any shout outs for us?
Not one. Not one.
All right, yo. Well, with that being said, there it is. Big Wee, shout outs, fam.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the wife. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
In true fashion. That's it.
That's it. And look, we're going to keep it simple. Much love to my usual suspects. Check me out tomorrow night. Much love to each and every single one of y'all. We are B-Boys Underground. We will see you back next Wednesday, y'all.